Good morning. Let's have a look at the Premier League yesterday. 0-0 at half-time. Who scored first? Well, Arsenal scored first. That would have been good for a lay the draw. If we laid the draw at half-time, Arsenal scoring first. Indeed, that's your get out for a near maximum profit, 0-2. A one-year's return for Nottingham Forest. But strangely, no 2 goals for Forest today. First time under Nuno Espirito Santo they failed to score that second goal. Maybe just that increase in quality of the opponent. Fulham and Everton 0-0 and 2.25 the favourite. So toughie. It's Everton reverting to their earlier patterns under Sean Dyche. 0-0s at half time, trying to nick a win later. This was just another level really. Luton against Brighton, 1.8 the favourite. I did suggest some of these odds on favourites were not that sharp. I don't think they're that worthy of favouritism. So Luton have been okay of late. But this 2 goals against Chelsea stands out. Beat Newcastle as well. Scored against Man City, scored 3 goals against Arsenal. So they did have something in them. But this Brighton continue to be poor away from home. Angles, well, would you have naturally taken on a Luton lead? All dependent on the in-play stats. No shots on target, look, for Brighton. No shots on target, just the one corner. So a really good defensive display or an under par attacking display from Brighton. Crystal Palace and Sheffield United. Well, certainly I think 3-0 at half time I would have laid that. Crystal Palace and Sheffield United again. Another very ropey odds on favourite in Crystal Palace as the result shows. Sheffield United led twice, so I think the return of Easy E from NWA really made a great difference. Olise getting the winner in the 67th minute. But they have been absent of Easy recently. His return is really making a huge difference. But this was more competitive than the market suggested, as I thought. Crystal Palace and Sheffield United. Well, Aston Villa and Newcastle. And Newcastle lead. Newcastle coming back to something like their best against usual 2-goal a game Aston Villa. I suspect, had I not been asleep at the time, I would have taken on that Newcastle lead at half time. Again, in-play stats are important. One shot on target. It's all one-way traffic, wasn't it, in the first half? So in-play stats are key. The research can provide you with a pre-match angle, but it's what happens in play that counts, isn't it? So very interesting results there. Morocco, South Africa. This is a strange result again. Was it red card affected? Well, it wasn't. Arguably, you'd have been a bit hard done by had you laid over 1.5 goals. Back Morocco +1 as being the best ranked African nation. And Hakimi missing a penalty, the absolute tool. And to further compound worries, you'd have got that red card and then a penalty to follow to make it 0-2. So a messy match. Club Brugge and Kortrijk. 1.13 shots. Club Brugge expected to score 3 goals. So this is your angle here. The 1-2 lead for Kortrijk. You could have cashed out here. Doesn't matter what happens after the cash out, does it? But this was a sloppy performance by Club Brugge at those odds. Coventry and Bristol City. Coventry favoured for me. They did lead and they came from behind late on. I don't know whether I would have taken on the late 1-2. It's one of those I've shown you in the live streams. You could take a risk for a big reward. Lay over 3.5 goals. Back Coventry +1 and hope that in the prevailing 7 minutes to full time you don't get another goal from the away side. That would have produced a decent profit against Coventry. Leicester and the Swans, easy as you like. 1.36, 3-0, 3-1, any other home score. Nice and simple. Oxford against Pompey. Well, Pompey finding their scoring shoes yesterday, and they needed them coming from behind. Would you have taken on Oxford United against a 2.25 Pompey, who have been a little blunt of late? Peterborough, a side to follow, particularly at home, particularly when favourite, but far too clinical. 2-0 up after 4 minutes. Aris and Niki Volos, just remember, this is a second leg. When you have a 3-0 lead for Aris from the first leg, then that changes the complexion of the second leg, because all they need to do is avoid a 3-0 defeat or a 4-0 defeat. So it just changes the complexion. You could even take on these sides leading, because the Niki Volos need to get the goals. So do remember these are two-legged affairs. Beitar Jerusalem and Hapoel Petah Tikva. Well, the red card, I don't know whether this penalty was linked to the red card, because there's a bit of four-minute gap there. But possibilities. 2-0 up for Beitar Jerusalem. Then the red card. You could have laid them 2-0 up, and you'd have been rewarded with a goal before half-time. Young Boys and Yverdon, just a reminder about newly promoted sides and short price favourites. Guess what? Like Luton, Leicester, 3-0, 3-1, any other home score. Nice starting play as well with the 10th minute Yverdon goal, 2-1 by half time. On to today, and let's have a look. West Ham and Bournemouth, 2.4 the favourite. Wolves and Man U, 2.55 the favourite. But both of these were 2.37 the favourite with William Hill. So it's a tough couple of matches, but I have researched them. Although I don't recommend researching 2.4 plus the favourite matches, because it seems to be a waste of time. You come to the conclusion that I don't have a conclusion. So let's have a look at this. Oh, that's yesterday, so I'll just pause the video. Man City against Burnley, well, it's one-way traffic, basically. 1.06 goals before half-time, expecting 3+ goals from City and the rest. Burnley, though, have scored 2+ goals in the last 2 away matches, so that's interesting. Tottenham against Brentford is your London derby, so be careful with this one. No draw in 10 at home for the Spuds. They've scored in the last 21, they've scored 2+ goals in the last 6 matches, and scored and conceded at home in the last 6 home. We could see both teams to score today, this being a competitive London derby. Brentford ended a run of 5 losses with a win against Nottingham Forest. No draw in 13 for them, so it looks like we can avoid the draws today. We could lay any late draw. Tottenham are scoring 2+ goals recently. 100% wins against 10th and lower. You've got to favour them, but do remember it is a London derby. This is a derby style match, Liverpool and Chelsea. Chelsea not quite the upper echelons just yet, the 9th in the league. Only 1 loss all season for Liverpool, came against Spurs. 3 consecutive wins, scoring 2+ goals. They're unbeaten in 14 and in 10 at home. 1-1 last head-to-head. All wins at home bar 2 draws for Liverpool. 12 goals scored in the last half hour of home matches. Liverpool are an excellent trading side. That's what I'll take coming into this match. If they're trailing, even with 5 minutes to go, still take Chelsea on. Liverpool have scored late goals consistently enough. 50% of Chelsea scorelines at half-time away have been 1-1. That's amazing. So we could see both teams to score before half-time. So take on, potentially, the first team to score in the first half in the half-time market. That will limit your liability. Barcelona against Osasuna. They lost 3-5 against Villarreal. But it was a profitable trade. It was 3-2 from 0-2 down. No draw in 11 for Barca. They've scored in the last 20. 18 out of 24 goals scored at home have come second half. So this might be a second half match today. They've scored 11 goals in the last 15 minutes as well. 3 consecutive home wins for Osasuna, but their away form, no win in 6. They score and concede in the last 5 away, so they are vulnerable if leading today. Nice and simple angle there. Atletico Madrid against Rayo Vallecano. This looks an obvious home win. They're excellent at home. They scored first 9 out of 11, led at half-time in 7 out of 11, so we're unlikely to see a trade today. 0-0 away last match for Rayo Vallecano suggests that they might be able to keep Atletico Madrid quiet for the first half, but I would be favouring Atletico Madrid. Those are the major matches. Again, it's a coupon lacking any depth, and it's very difficult for me to get enthused about staying up till 2:30 a.m. to monitor 5 or 6 matches for you. I hope you understand it's extremely difficult for me to continue these late nights. It's catching up with me. I get caught out last 2 nights ago with a stomach complaint and a lack of sleep. So I need to choose when to get involved, but I will be about, I think, at 6 p.m. for the Barcelona match, which I can't see here. I think it's on. Or has it been postponed? 6 o'clock, Barcelona, Osasuna. Oh, we're way ahead of ourselves. Wednesday. Yeah. There we go. I'll be around for 6 o'clock for Barcelona, and if that gets some momentum, then I can move on to Rio Ave. Let's have a look at some of the other leagues which are playing as well today. Belgian Jupiler League at 5:45, so that's a good starting point then. 5:45 to 6 p.m. So expect me to start a live stream then at Footballtradingprofits.club. Come along for that. We've got a smattering of other matches. Sheffield Wednesday against Watford, 2.63 the favourite. You know why I haven't researched that one. And Hertha Berlin, Kaiserslautern. The Greek Cup as well. Again, 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock will fit in with my 6 o'clock start. Liga Ha'al, no strong favourites apart from Maccabi Tel Aviv, who've been a bit hit and miss of late. And the Swiss Super League, 7:30 kickoffs there. So I'll see you at about 6 p.m. The live stream you'll find here, and if you can come along, I think you'll enjoy it. I don't think I'll do a consistent live stream. It's just as and when there are plays, but I will start the live stream at 6 o'clock just to introduce the evening. You'll find it here under the chats facility there. So 6 p.m. I hope to see you there. Have a great evening.